All right, welcome back, folks. You just heard Jason's story, and it was incredible, absolutely incredible. Manufacturing resilience. That's what I'm going with. That's in my head. And we talked about. Jason left us with the trinket. I can't remember who said it, Jason, but you just from a small seed, a mighty trunk can grow, and that was just man, what a way to leave that show. Thank you for sharing your wisdom on that podcast, that episode. I know our guests got a ton of value out of it, but you crushed it so much, dude, that I had to have you come back and answer a few more questions for me, right? Because you are as blue collar gets. Manufacturing, being a machinist, building things, creating things, and then not only creating, but taking a concept and turning it into an item, a product. And then on top of that, a small big business owner that is literally legitimately keeping people safe and changing an industry from taking a niche to a necessity. Like, yeah, you like that? Because I mean, that's what you're doing. You've made a niche
to
and
necessity.
that's it. You can go
You're
ahead
hired.
thank you. Good. I'm looking for work. So on that, dude, I want to jump right in here because we got our staple question, and I'm excited to hear how you answer this. And this is the real deal here. So, what is a blue collar barbarian to you?
A blue collar barbarian. Guess that would be somebody who wakes up every single day. They throw their boots on their feet, tie up them laces really tight. They go to work. They get their shit done. They do it to the best of their ability, and they help drive this country forward.
Hell yeah.
So,
Driving the country forward is a big part of it too, right? Like, and you know what? And like you said, so you can be blue collar but not a baller, right? Like that.
yeah,
Do it to the best of your ability. That's the barbarian part. It's
yeah.
and like, listen, we're human. There's days that you underperform, right? But as long as you win the
Oh,
week,
for
right?
sure.
Winning the
Yeah.
week is what comes in. Moving right along here, man. What is a piece of advice you'd give to someone considering making the jump in their side hustle, from in their side hustle to like a full-time job? I know we kind of ended talking about like some advice for scaling, but what's a piece of advice you'd give somebody that's like, man, I want to take this side hustle and make it something?
Do it. Um,
I love that.
whatever fears you have, use it. Use those fears to as fuel. Uh, Put them in a bowl and eat that shit, and just get it done. We have such a short window on this planet, and I guess it comes down to, do you want to leave your mark on this world, or do you want to just be another name on a stone somewhere that nobody visits? So
Damn.
just get it done.
That's real. Do you want to leave your mark, or do you want to be just another stone that nobody visits?
Yep.
I almost don't even know what to say to that because I mean, I could
It's
jump
kind
up
of
and down
morbid.
right now and tell you. I could jump up and down right now and tell you my answer. Fuck, dude. I don't care if you remember my name, but I want to be the guy that you're like. They build a statue, not because it's not of me necessarily, but just impact, dude. I want to be the guy that like anybody you run into knows that I helped somebody. I was the
Right.
reason somebody didn't quit, right? Like that's the legacy. I want to be the guy that went so hard my kids don't know normal. Like that's the most important thing to me. Is like I want my kids to like never stop chasing their fucking dreams. Never. Like,
Yeah, that's life.
yeah, I want to see them outrun their bosses, and outpace everybody around them. And am I great at doing that for them all the time? No, but like, man, what a powerful sentiment you just shared right there, dude. That was awesome. And we'll keep flowing here. Damn, y'all better come visit my goddamn headstone. That's all I'm saying. After he just said that, you guys better come see that shit. It's got the Barbarians cast right across it. It's cursive.
There you go. I'll machine it out of stainless steel.
I hope so. It better be marble. I don't like that. I'm a bougie guy. I don't like that
Yeah,
basic shit.
I like the marble.
Yeah. What is missing in the workforce today, man? So hold up before you answer that, because very specifically, right? I want you to think about this from two fronts. You're at the top of the chain, and also from somebody that took steps back to go forward, right? So, like, in all these different positions you came from in your story, is people just listen, like, you took risks and you're constantly evaluating, constantly reflecting. That's something I do, is reflect all the time. So that means something to me, especially. But what is missing? Like, really, what is missing? And all these people, like, and let's not say that you work next to, because I'm sure some of these guys will listen to that, and this is not an attack on them. But, like,
Right.
if you look around you in the workforce, what is missing from our brothers and sisters? Where are they short?
Oh boy, that's that could be. We could go deep on that.
Oh,
Um,
hit me.
well, I'll start right at the top. I think, you know, the workforce today is definitely missing leadership. I mean, from the upper echelon all the way down to, your direct supervisor. And that is definitely not an attack on anybody at my job. It's what I see as a whole. When I go to Dunkin' Donuts for my coffee, or I go to Ocean State Job Lot to pick up some firewood sticks. Anywhere I go, nobody seems motivated, and they're just moping around and just working that 9 to 5, just looking at the clock going, oh, I can't wait till this day ends. Yeah, some of that responsibility falls on you to make the best of the day that you're having. But in my opinion, the majority of that responsibility lies solely with your leader. If you're a shit leader, the people under you are going to be shit. So they're just lacking leadership.
Mm.
And I don't really necessarily believe it's the fault of the leaders either. I mean, look at when you have I don't even want to call him the supreme leader, but the president of our country. He's supposed to be the tippy top when it comes to leaders for every American citizen. And you name me one person that can look at that man and say, that's a leader. So if you're an American citizen and you, at your highest level, you can't even call your president a good leader. Jesus Christ, man. I mean, shit rolls downhill. So
So we're missing an example.
we're missing a
Well,
good example.
yeah. Well, I mean, I would agree with you on the leadership aspect of that as well. But, like, when you're saying, it's funny you say this, is like, Jesse, our guest, one of our most recent podcast guests that we just released, he talked about this a little bit, about how sometimes you can't blame your leaders because it was the way that they were taught, probably, and that they weren't necessarily taught properly. So to give them grace for being shitty leadership too, because they probably weren't taught. And it really, honestly, in full transparency, it made me reflect to my time in the military, and, like, my senior leadership at first were all hard asses, because they were ran through the gamut, and then they were kind of shitbags as far as the way they treated people and their attitudes towards people. And then that carried over into me. And, like, I think back to, just because I always have a pride about me, right? Like, there's a sense of pride to everything. There's things I wish I could have done better, like be a better leader. Like, you have to be hard on your guys in the Marine Corps for a reason. Like, there's a part of treating a boot like a boot for a reason. Don't get me wrong. I'm not soft, boys. I'm not soft here. But at the same time, like, there is a part of me that wishes I would have took more pride in being somebody that wasn't just a kill hat, wasn't just in it to blow you up, treat you like shit, tell you your boot, blah, blah, blah. Like, I wish I would have been more hands-on in teaching, like Kyle Couts was, in his episode, where he talked about, like, getting down and dirty with his guys and explaining things over and over again. I wish I would have changed my approach and reflection. So it's funny you say that, because some of the shit leadership that we see out there is literally the product of us not, one, opening our mouth and showing people, but two, like not having an example to look to, as you stated, with like even in this case, the president of the United States being like, where's the leadership? Where? It's missing.
Yeah.
Complete. I agree with that. Do you want to go anywhere else with that?
It's just it's a vacuum for motivation. It sucks the motivation right out of people. So, I mean, as you were saying, your prior guest was like maybe they were taught to be a poor leader. I can definitely agree with that. That is a correct statement. But
Yeah.
I also, you know, I'll add to that, and I'm huge on being self-aware and being responsible for yourself. And if you are that kind of a leader, get the fuck out of the way
Yeah.
because uh, people, not only some people need to be led, but as human beings, it's in us. We thrive off of that. Sometimes we need guidance, sometimes we need direction. Even me, as a dad, my kids teach me stuff every single day. Helps me be a better leader to them, and they don't even know it, you know. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
I would say that
just
to carry on for that the reflection thing is missing as well. Leaders need to spend more time in reflection. Like, yeah, it's cool and dandy to get off work and go drink your whiskey or whatever people do now and do all that shit, but uh, you need to be aware of like you were saying about being self-aware. You need to reflect on like, hey, am I setting a good example for these people? Am I really giving my people my best? Am I passing the buck on this, or what can I do better in certain circumstances, right? So yeah, I don't know. I'll digress on that. I thought that's a very good answer, but yeah, definitely leadership is missing. And guess what? All the guys listening to the show have an opportunity right now to change that. Right now,
that's right.
you can become what you are missing legitimately, and you should. You absolutely should. And then one more question, dude, for you, and then we'll be out of here on this. But we'll be done. Uh, why did you decide to sponsor the show? I just got to know.
What you're doing is absolutely vital in today's time. Maybe it wouldn't I wouldn't have seen it having a big impact, 50 years ago, but today, as I sit here at this table talking to you today, the messages that I thought were going to come out of your podcast, I believe, are the defibrillators for the youth coming into the workforce. Um, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm kind of terrified at what this country looks like in 5 years with the youth coming into the workforce.
Mm.
We do tours at work for high schools and stuff, and yeah, man, I'm terrified. We have a generation of kids that have grown up on, um, I'm going to make YouTube videos and drive my Bugatti, and they think that millions of dollars comes with taking a 15-second video and going viral. Man, it don't work like that. You want success, you got to roll around in the mud. You got to go home and lay on your couch and go, I feel like I just got hit by a car. You have to, get your body dirty enough to where it takes 3 showers just to get the grease out of your skin. And I just, I don't know how it happened. Well, I kind of have an idea how it happened. Um, but we got to get these kids out of this funk of where they don't see the value in hard work, you know, where they see work as a paycheck. That is
Mm.
totally the wrong way to look at work. It's not just money. It's about um, learning. It's about self growth. It's man, it's so much more. And the message that your podcast puts out, it's like, get out there, you know, work your ass off, keep learning, don't stop. You fall down, get up. And I'd be an idiot not to sponsor somebody who's putting that kind of message out there. I'd be a piece of shit. And I like sleeping at night, and I don't want to sit there and toss and turn in bed knowing that I'm doing this world a disservice. So thank you for that.
No,
You
dude,
help me sleep.
no, I really appreciate the kind words, and I'm terrified too. Everywhere I look, our brothers and sisters are hurting, and everybody's coming to the table with problems. But nobody, not nobody, very few are coming to the table with any sort of a solution, any sort of even an effort at a solution, right? And
Yeah,
I'm terrified of what I see, but I have hope because of stories like yours. I do, like, full transparency. I have hope that this message, our message, it's not just mine. This is yours too. I mean, you are part of the heartbeat of this country with what you do, and this this country, the world as we know it, regardless if you're in America, you're somewhere else. Listen to this, man. Like, this was built by these hands, built by built by it was built by a backbone, an originateness. Now, does that mean that you should do stuff a certain way, like you should be cut and paste or cookie cutter about it? No, but it doesn't mean you have to be as callous as the guys in the 50s and 60s. No, it doesn't. But you got to keep the soul alive, the soul of what we built this thing on, and you got to protect it. And that comes from our story, and that comes from us deciding to do something about it. So thank you for helping support that mission and being a part of this show, and thank you for sharing your knowledge with us again, and for coming back for questions. And man,
absolutely.
I really really appreciate it, and I'm sure everybody else is probably, if they're smart, they got a notepad out and started taking notes, right? Because there's lessons here that it's so easy to be better than the next guy right now. And I don't mean this offensively to anybody, but like, when you're in a pool of people that don't fucking care, it doesn't take much to become the one
Yeah.
that runs the show. So to my audience, to our audience, thank you so much for listening, and thank you for your time. And be sure to follow Jason and Holster Gator and keep up with everything they got going on. I'd recommend you get one. Times are wild right now. Protecting yourself is a pretty big deal everywhere you look. Um, so that,
Yep.
you might just check it out, and you shoot him a message, tell him we sent you, tell him hi. If you're lucky, maybe he'll even throw a Barbarian logo on there for you if you want one. That's another thing that
Yeah,
you did
absolutely.
highlight. Like, he laser engraves all sorts of cool designs. So support people that are supporting us, please. I just beg you, listeners, and that's not even a beg. It would be really cool if you guys would support the people that make this possible, and the people that are out there building stuff because they give a shit about you and they want to fill a hole. So, Jason, thank you so much, man. This has been a blast. I appreciate you so much and your time, and we'll see you around, I'm sure, bud.
Absolutely, Jonathan. Thank you for inviting me on.
Yeah, absolutely. All righty.